Rin's ship cut through the purple clouds of Zythera, leaving silver streaks across the sky. The planet below was unlike anything humans had ever seen. Mountains glowed faintly with blue light, rivers shimmered like liquid crystal, and strange flying creatures darted between jagged cliffs. Rin's heart raced with excitement. He had come to Zythera not as a soldier or explorer, but as an engineer, eager to study the alien technology that humans had only heard about. The landing platform was vast and polished, stretching far beyond what Rin could see. Tall alien towers rose around him, carved with patterns that shifted subtly, as if alive. Aliens moved gracefully along the platform, their armor reflecting colors Rin could not name. Some noticed him and gave curious looks, whispering among themselves. Humans were rare visitors, and Rin could feel their cautious eyes on him. Rin stepped from the ship, carrying his small toolkit. He breathed the alien air, which was heavy with the scent of strange plants and minerals. He adjusted his protective goggles and moved toward the palace at the center of the city. The palace was massive, its walls rising high and curving in elegant arcs. At the top, Rin could see glints of golden armor. That armor belonged to Queen Zara, ruler of Zythera. Stories said she was fearless, unmatched in strength, and possessed the most sacred armor in the galaxy. A group of alien guards noticed Rin approaching and stopped him. They were taller than Rin, with long limbs and shining eyes. One of them, wearing silver plating, spoke in a melodic voice. "Human," the guard said. "The palace is not for your kind. Stay where you are." Rin bowed slightly, showing respect. "I come in peace. I am Rin, a human engineer. I wish to study the palace and its technology. I mean no harm." The guard studied him for a long moment. Then, with a subtle nod, he waved Rin through. "Do not touch anything sacred," he warned. "Especially the queen's armor." Rin nodded and continued inside. The palace halls were breathtaking. Light moved along the walls in patterns that seemed almost alive. Statues of warriors and kings glimmered with precious stones. He paused frequently, sketching ideas in his notebook. Every corner revealed technology far beyond human invention, yet Rin noticed something else. The queen's armor, displayed in a grand hall, had small cracks and faint scratches. Even without touching it, he could tell the metal was old and fragile in some places. Rin's curiosity grew. He knew he had to study it more closely to understand its design. The aliens had built these armors for strength, speed, and protection, but no human had ever repaired one. As Rin leaned closer to examine the intricate engravings, a faint hum resonated from the armor, as if it recognized the human presence. Suddenly, a guard stepped forward. "Do not touch it," he said firmly. "The armor belongs to the queen. It is sacred." Rin stepped back, hands raised. "I understand. I will not touch it. I just want to study the design." The guard hesitated, then moved away, keeping a close watch. Rin knelt on the floor, using his tools to carefully measure and sketch details without actually touching the armor. He studied the way the plates connected, the hidden joints, and the engraved patterns that seemed to be more than decoration. They were instructions or codes, he realized. Hours passed as Rin worked quietly. Outside the hall, shadows grew long as Zythera's twin suns began to set. He was so focused that he almost didn't notice the sound, a low, resonant roar that shook the walls. Rin froze. The aliens around him scattered, whispering in alarm. The sound grew louder, vibrating through the floor and echoing in the palace. Then a voice rang out, commanding and fierce, "Who touched my armor?" Rin's heart pounded. He had not touched it, yet the queen's presence was undeniable. The aliens trembled, bowing as the voice continued. Every footstep from the approaching queen seemed to strike like thunder. Rin took a deep breath. The stories were true. Zara's power was immense. But he could not run. Humans were known for courage, and he needed to face this moment with honesty. As the massive doors opened, Rin saw her for the first time. Queen Zara towered above everyone, her armor glinting in the fading sunlight. Her eyes were sharp, intelligent, and filled with curiosity. She paused for a moment, scanning the hall, until her gaze landed on Rin. Every alien in the room held their breath. Rin straightened and stepped forward. "I did not touch your armor," he said calmly, his voice steady. "But I have studied it. I meant no disrespect." A flicker of surprise crossed Zara's face. No one had ever dared speak to her directly like this. She studied the human with a curious, almost amused expression. Rin felt a mix of fear and determination. He knew the next few moments would decide whether he survived this encounter or earned an unexpected chance to prove human skill and courage in the heart of an alien world. The hall fell completely silent. Every alien guard, every court member, every servant seemed frozen as Queen Zara's piercing eyes locked onto Rin. The human stood his ground, heart pounding, but he did not step back. His fingers brushed the notebook at his side, filled with careful sketches of her sacred armor. He hoped his honesty and courage would speak louder than fear. Zara's voice cut through the air, sharp and commanding. "You, human. Why are you in my hall? Why are you studying my armor without permission?" Rin bowed slightly, keeping his eyes lowered. "Your Majesty, I did not mean to disrespect you. I am Rin, a human engineer. I came to study Zythera's technology. I have always admired your skill and the craftsmanship of your armor. I only wish to learn." A murmur ran through the alien crowd. Some whispered in disbelief. No human had ever spoken so openly to the queen before. The guards tensed, ready to act, but Zara held up her hand. "Your kind is clever, but you are bold to speak without fear," she said, her tone softer now, almost curious. "Many have entered my halls. None have dared answer me." Rin straightened, encouraged by her words. "I respect your authority, your Majesty. I understand the armor is sacred. I only wish to understand its design so that I might learn from it, not touch it." Zara stepped closer, her armored boots echoing on the polished floor. The sunlight glinted off her golden plates, and Rin could see the intricate lines and engravings that made the armor seem alive. She stopped a few feet from him, her eyes scanning him carefully. "You speak well," she said finally. "Most humans would cower or flee. Yet here you stand. That is, unusual." Rin nodded. "I have learned that courage and honesty are sometimes stronger than fear. I believe that even beings from different worlds can understand one another if they try." Zara raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You claim to understand, yet you have never faced the trials of Zythera's warriors. Do you know what it means to wear armor such as this?" "I do not know fully, Your Majesty," Rin replied. "But I can observe, study, and learn. I can respect the armor and the one who wears it. I hope that is worth something." A tense silence followed. The guards shifted, unsure how the queen would react. Then Zara laughed a low, powerful sound that shook the hall slightly. It was not cruel, but full of surprise and interest. "You are braver than I expected," she said. "Perhaps it is worth testing you. Perhaps your human ways have value. Very well, Rin. If you wish to prove your respect and skill, you will help me." Rin's eyes widened slightly. "Help you, Your Majesty?" Zara nodded. "Yes. My armor is strong, but it has begun to weaken in secret ways. My people cannot repair it without breaking its sacred design. If you can find a way to strengthen it without harming it, you will have proven yourself." The other aliens gasped quietly. None had dared attempt such a task before. Rin's heart raced. This was more than learning, this was a chance to show that humans could do what aliens could not. "I will do my best," Rin said firmly. "I promise to treat your armor with respect and care." Zara studied him for a moment, then stepped aside. Very well. You may begin. But remember, human, failure is not an option. This armor is sacred. If it is damaged, consequences will follow. Ren nodded and moved closer to the display platform. He carefully examined the armor, taking detailed measurements with his tools. He noted small fractures in the joints and faint scratches along the plates. His mind raced, thinking of ways to repair and reinforce without touching the sacred engravings. Hours passed as Ren worked quietly, sketching ideas, testing materials, and imagining solutions. Every so often, he glanced at Zara, who watched him silently. She seemed almost amused by his methods, as if she had never seen anyone approach a problem with such patience and creativity. At one point, Ren noticed a small joint that could fail under stress. He traced its design with careful eyes, considering a human solution that respected the alien craftsmanship. He explained quietly, "If I reinforce this joint without altering the surface, it could hold longer. It is delicate, but possible." Zara's eyes sparkled. "Interesting. Your mind works differently than mine. Most of my people would never see such a possibility." The hall's tension began to fade. Aliens whispered among themselves, impressed by Ren's courage and knowledge. Ren felt a strange warmth of pride. He had not only faced a queen without fear, but he was starting to earn her trust. As night fell over Zythera, the twin suns dipping below the horizon, Zara finally spoke. "You have shown bravery and respect today, Ren. Tomorrow, we shall see if your human ways can truly protect what is sacred to us." Ren bowed. "I will not disappoint you, Your Majesty." For the first time, Ren felt that humans could be more than visitors on Zythera. They could be trusted allies, even in the heart of an alien world ruled by a queen whose power was unmatched. The next morning, the palace was quiet as Ren returned to the hall where Queen Zara's armor was displayed. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, casting patterns on the polished floor. Zara was already there, standing with her arms crossed, her golden armor glinting in the light. Her expression was calm, but her eyes held the sharp intensity of a predator studying prey. "You may begin," she said, her voice steady. "Show me what your human skills can do. Do not fail." Ren bowed slightly and approached the armor. He studied the small cracks in the joints and the faint scratches along the plates. He carefully removed his tools from the case, laying them in order. His fingers hovered over the instruments. He had never worked on anything like this before, but he was confident in human engineering principles, observation, patience, and creativity. First, Ren inspected the largest plates. He examined their weight and balance, noting how each section connected to the next. He sketched adjustments in his notebook, planning how to reinforce the joints without touching the sacred engravings. Every detail mattered. A single mistake could ruin the armor. Zara watched silently, her eyes sharp and alert. She did not speak, but Ren could feel her judgment. He knew the aliens had never seen a human repair something sacred without damaging it. Every movement he made was watched carefully. Ren began with small adjustments. Using tiny braces and lightweight supports, he reinforced the internal structure of the armor. He whispered to himself as he worked, thinking through each step. "If I use this material here, it will strengthen the joint without changing the surface. The connection here can be tighter, but flexible. That will prevent cracks under pressure." One of the palace guards stepped closer, curiosity overcoming caution. "Human, why do you work so slowly?" he asked. "Time is wasted." Ren glanced up. "Precision matters more than speed," he said calmly. "I must understand the design completely before making changes." The guard frowned but stepped back. Ren continued, carefully inserting supports where they would not be seen. He tested each movement of the armor, ensuring it could bend and flex naturally. After several hours, he paused and wiped sweat from his brow. Queen Zara finally spoke. You are careful, human. You think differently than my people. Most would force the repairs, not consider the whole design. Yet this method, it may succeed. Ren felt a surge of pride. The queen was beginning to recognize the value of human ingenuity. Encouraged, he moved to the helmet, studying the interior padding and the way it absorbed force. Using a small device of his own design, he tested the metal for weak points without touching the sacred surface. He recorded every measurement in his notebook. Impressive, Zara said quietly. She stepped closer, tilting her head. You understand the purpose of this armor, not just its shape. Few aliens notice the importance of its balance and strength. You think with your mind and your hands together. That is rare. Ren smiled slightly, his confidence growing. I have learned that observation is as important as action. If I understand how it works, I can repair it without harm. Hours turned into afternoon. Ren worked carefully on the joints, the shoulder plates, and the gauntlets. Each adjustment he made was small but meaningful. The armor began to look whole again, even stronger than before. Zara moved among the surrounding guards, observing without interfering. The palace staff whispered to each other, amazed at the human's skill. Finally, Ren stepped back and tested the armor one last time. He pressed and twisted the plates gently, simulating the movements of a warrior. Every joint held perfectly, every connection strong yet flexible. The engraved designs remained untouched. Zara studied him, her expression unreadable. Then, slowly, a faint smile appeared. You have succeeded, human. Your work honors the armor and its purpose. You have proven skill, patience, and respect. That is rare among those who call themselves engineers. Ren bowed. Thank you, Your Majesty. I only wish to serve, to learn, and to protect what is sacred. Zara's eyes softened slightly. Perhaps there is more to humans than we believed. You are not like the others. You have courage, yes, but also wisdom. That is a combination my people rarely see. Ren felt a warmth of pride. He had faced the queen, performed the impossible, and earned recognition. But he also sensed that this was only the beginning. If he could repair the armor, perhaps he could earn the trust of Zara and her people. Perhaps humans could do more than visit Scythera, they could be allies. Zara turned and walked toward the hall entrance. Rest now, human. Tomorrow, I will test your work under conditions no one has dared before. If the armor withstands it, you will have earned a place among my people. If not, she did not finish the sentence, but the implication was clear. Ren nodded, understanding the weight of the challenge. He carefully packed his tools and followed the queen with a sense of purpose. The palace felt less intimidating now. The queen's respect had given him courage, but he knew the true test was yet to come. As the twin sun set over Scythera, Ren gazed at the repaired armor. It gleamed with strength and history. In that moment, he realized that human ingenuity, patience, and respect could indeed make a difference, even in a world ruled by a queen whose power was unmatched. The next morning, Ren entered the palace with a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. Word of his skill with the queen's armor had spread quietly among the guards and servants. Some watched him with curiosity, while others whispered in disbelief. Humans were rare visitors, and no one had ever seen one repair the sacred armor without causing damage. Ren could feel the weight of their attention, but he focused on his task and purpose. Queen Zara waited in the main hall, her posture as commanding as ever. Today, she said, her voice steady, you will present your work to my council. They will judge whether a human can be trusted with knowledge of our sacred technology. Ren bowed. I am ready, Your Majesty. The council chamber was large and circular, with seats rising like tiers around a central platform. Zara led Ren to the center, where the repaired armor gleamed under bright lights. Alien council members, each taller than Rin and adorned with elaborate ceremonial attire, watched him closely. Their expressions were a mixture of curiosity, suspicion, and quiet amazement. "Human," Zara began, addressing the council, "this one has repaired my armor without damaging it. He has shown patience, creativity, and respect. You will observe and decide if he has the skill worthy of Zythera." Rin took a deep breath and began explaining his process. He spoke slowly and clearly, using simple words to describe the methods he used. "First, I studied the connections between each plate. Then, I designed supports that would strengthen the armor without touching the engraved surfaces. I tested each joint carefully before making adjustments. Finally, I ensured the armor could bend naturally and remain strong under pressure." The council members exchanged quiet murmurs. Some tilted their heads, studying the armor with renewed interest. One counselor, taller than the rest and wearing a cloak decorated with gemstones, spoke. "Most beings would attempt to force repairs, not consider the integrity of the original design. This human has shown understanding beyond the norm. Yet, can he anticipate the demands of battle?" Rin nodded. "I cannot know everything about alien combat, but I have observed the armor's purpose and reinforced it to endure stress and movement. I have also considered the materials and their limitations. If tested under conditions similar to combat, it should hold." Zara watched him closely. "Very well," she said. "We shall test it soon. But first, I wish to hear your thoughts on our technology. Humans often admire the surface. Tell us what you see in depth." Rin looked at the council and spoke with honesty. "Your technology is remarkable. It is beautiful, strong, and designed for efficiency. But beyond that, it tells a story. Each plate, each joint, each engraving shows intelligence and care. I have learned that understanding the purpose behind the design is as important as repairing it." A soft murmur of approval went through some council members. Another, a female with green-toned armor, stepped forward. "You speak with respect and humility, human. But can you apply this knowledge to help our people, not just repair an object?" Rin nodded. "Yes. I can use what I have learned to improve the durability of technology without harming its original design. I hope to share my knowledge and serve those who are willing to listen." For a long moment, silence hung in the chamber. Then Zara's voice broke the stillness. "You have spoken truthfully and with respect. You have not only repaired what was broken, but you have also shown understanding of our ways. That is more than skill, it is wisdom." The council members slowly nodded. Some were still cautious, but a few smiled faintly, their skepticism softening. The human had earned a place in their eyes, at least for now. Zara turned to Rin. "You have begun to earn respect, human. But trust is not given lightly. You will remain under observation, and more challenges will come. Some among my council may doubt your loyalty or abilities. That is natural. You must continue to prove yourself." Rin bowed again. "I will not disappoint you, your majesty. I wish to learn and serve with honesty and skill." Later, Rin walked through the palace halls, carrying his notebook and tools. Some aliens glanced at him, nodding slightly in recognition. A few even smiled, a gesture Rin had never expected to see. He realized that his human qualities, courage, patience, and ingenuity were starting to make a difference. He paused outside the armory where the queen's repaired armor rested. The golden plates shone in the sunlight, stronger and more resilient than before. Rin felt a sense of quiet pride. This was not just a personal achievement. It was proof that humans could earn respect, even in a world that seemed far beyond their reach. As the twin sons of Zythera said, casting long shadows across the palace, Rin understood that his journey had only begun. The queen had given him an opportunity, the council had witnessed his skill, and the palace had accepted him cautiously. Tomorrow, he knew, would bring new challenges. But for now, he allowed himself a small moment of triumph, knowing that humans had the power to bridge worlds through courage, intelligence, and respect. The palace of Zythera was quieter than usual that evening. Rin had been working closely with Queen Zara for several days, repairing and testing the sacred armor. The council had begun to accept him, though some members still watched him with caution. Rin moved through the corridors with purpose, carrying his tools and notebook, when something caught his attention. A faint sound echoed in the hall, a metallic scraping, too subtle for most to notice. Rin paused, listening carefully. The sound came again, near the armory. His instincts as an engineer told him this was not ordinary maintenance or palace noise. Someone was tampering with the armor. He crouched behind a column and peered toward the armory. A shadow moved across the room, careful and deliberate. Rin's heart raced. The queen's sacred armor was at risk, and the palace guards were unaware. No one else could stop this without notice. He realized that he might be the only one who could act. Rin moved quietly, using his knowledge of the palace layout to approach the intruder unseen. The figure bent over the armor, adjusting something with a strange tool. Rin recognized it immediately. It was not a standard palace instrument. It was designed to weaken the metal, not repair it. He took a deep breath. "Stop," he whispered firmly. The intruder froze. Rin stepped forward into the light. "I know what you are trying to do. You cannot touch the queen's armor without her permission. Step away now." The shadow turned. It was a taller alien, wearing dark clothing that marked him as a saboteur. His eyes narrowed. "And who are you to tell me what I can do?" "I am Rin," the human said calmly. "I have been trusted by the queen to study and repair this armor. If you harm it, I will stop you. I do not intend to fail." The saboteur laughed softly. "A human? You are brave, but foolish. This armor will be mine, and no queen or council will stop me." Rin considered his options. He had no weapons, only his engineering tools and his mind. He knew that rushing in physically could be dangerous. Instead, he thought quickly, remembering the design of the room and the mechanisms of the armor. "Listen to me," Rin said firmly. "If you damage this armor, the queen will know immediately. You will face consequences far worse than you expect. I suggest you leave peacefully." The saboteur smirked, but Rin had already noticed a loose panel above the armor. With careful precision, he triggered a small mechanism, causing a low alarm to sound in the hall. Lights flashed, and a hidden barrier lowered behind the saboteur, cutting off his escape. Zara's voice echoed through the corridor. "Intruder! Guards, to me!" The saboteur's eyes widened. Rin stepped closer, showing no fear. "You cannot escape. Leave now, and no harm will come to you beyond this warning." The alien hesitated, realizing the human had outsmarted him. Slowly, he stepped back, surrendering to the situation. The palace guards arrived quickly, led by Zara herself. She looked at Rin with a mixture of surprise and approval. "You acted quickly and wisely, human," she said. "You prevented damage to my armor without endangering yourself unnecessarily. That is cleverness and courage." Rin bowed slightly. "I could not allow the sacred armor to be harmed. It is my duty, Your Majesty." The saboteur was taken away, still muttering in frustration. The council members who had been watching nodded in quiet respect. Some whispered among themselves, acknowledging that Rin's human ingenuity had saved the queen and her treasure. Zara turned back to Rin. "Your skill is not only in repairing but in protecting. You have shown that humans can be trusted with more than study. They can act when danger comes, and think clearly under pressure." Rin felt a mixture of pride and relief. The palace, which had seemed so foreign and intimidating, now felt like a place where humans could make a difference. He had earned not only Zara's respect but also the quiet admiration of those who had doubted him. Later, Rin inspected the armor once more, ensuring that no damage had occurred during the attempted sabotage. He realized that the palace, though magnificent, was not without its dangers. There were those who sought to exploit weakness or challenge the queen. Humans, with their courage and problem-solving skills, could serve as unexpected allies in such a world. As he worked, Zara approached. "Rin," she said, her voice calm but filled with authority, "you have done more than I imagined. You saved what is sacred, and you did so without hesitation. I will not forget this." Rin smiled humbly. "I only acted as I could, Your Majesty. I hope to continue to serve and learn from your people." Zara studied him for a long moment. "You are different from others of your kind. That is clear. The palace, the council, and I will watch your work closely. There will be more tests, more challenges. But today, you have proven that humans can be brave, clever, and trustworthy." As night fell over Scythera, Rin felt a deep sense of purpose. He had faced a hidden threat, acted quickly, and protected something precious. His actions had shown that humans were not just visitors or observers, they could be defenders, thinkers, and partners in a world far beyond their own. Rin knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but he was ready. With courage, intelligence, and respect, he could continue to earn the trust of the Queen and her people, proving that humans could thrive even in the most alien of worlds. The palace of Scythera was tense the next day. Rin had spent the night reviewing his notes and inspecting the Queen's armor again. Though the saboteur had been captured, Rin sensed that danger was not entirely gone. His instincts told him that someone bold enough to attempt sabotage once might try again. Queen Zara called him to the central hall. Her golden armor gleamed under the light, and her presence was commanding. "Rin," she said, "the saboteur will be returned to face judgment. But I fear he will not act alone. You must remain vigilant. Today, you may be tested not only for skill but for courage." Rin bowed. "I am ready, Your Majesty. I will do my best to protect you and your people." As he spoke, a subtle vibration shook the floor, a warning almost too faint to notice. Rin's eyes narrowed. He turned to observe the hall and saw the saboteur slip through a hidden corridor, moving quickly toward the armory again. Rin's heart pounded. He sprinted after him, using his knowledge of the palace to cut off the intruder. The saboteur reached the armor and lifted his strange tool, intending to damage the sacred plates. Rin stepped forward boldly. "Stop," he shouted. The saboteur turned sharply, surprise flashing in his eyes. "A human again," he growled. "You will not stop me this time." Rin thought quickly. The armory had no conventional weapons, but it had mechanisms and movable panels. He reached for a lever near the floor and triggered a hidden barrier, separating the saboteur from the armor. Sparks flew as the barrier activated, and the saboteur's plan was interrupted. Queen Zara appeared at the doorway, her eyes blazing. "You dare touch my armor again," she demanded. Her presence alone seemed to press down on the saboteur. She drew a small device from her belt and aimed it at him. A wave of energy restrained him without harm, holding him suspended in midair. Rin stepped closer, calm but alert. "Your Majesty, the armor is safe. The saboteur cannot continue his plan." Zara studied Rin for a moment, her expression unreadable. Then she nodded slowly. "You acted swiftly and wisely, human. You used your mind and courage together. That is rare." The saboteur struggled against the energy field, his eyes full of anger. Rin realized that reasoning with him might not work. Instead, he focused on containing the threat without causing injury. He noticed a nearby control panel connected to the energy device and carefully adjusted the settings to immobilize the saboteur more securely. The alien council arrived, moving quickly through the hall. Some whispered in admiration at Rin's calm and clever handling of the situation. Zara turned to the council. "Observe. This human has protected what is sacred using skill and intelligence. He acted with courage, without reckless force. That is why he is trusted. The saboteur hissed and thrashed, but Rin remained steady. He spoke calmly, "It is not too late to surrender peacefully. Resistance will not succeed. Leave the queen and her armor unharmed, and your punishment will be just but fair." Finally, the saboteur's struggles weakened. The energy field held, and he realized that the human and queen were prepared for any attempt. He lowered his tool and slumped in defeat. The guards took him away to face judgment. Zara turned to Rin, her golden armor gleaming in the light. "You have done more than repair or study. You have protected what is most sacred. You have acted with courage, intelligence, and respect. That is why humans can earn trust in Scythera." Rin bowed deeply. "I only acted as I could, Your Majesty. I hope to continue serving your people and learning from your ways." Zara's eyes softened slightly. "You have proven yourself beyond expectation. Not only skill, but heart and mind. The Council and I will remember this. Humans may be rare, but your kind has the potential to be allies in ways we have never imagined." Later, Rin inspected the armor once more, ensuring that the saboteur had caused no damage. Every plate was intact, every joint strong and flexible. He realized that human ingenuity had not only repaired but also protected Scythera's most sacred treasure. As evening fell over the palace, Rin and Zara stood together by the armor. "Today," Zara said, her voice quieter, "you have earned my full respect. You are not just a visitor here. You are a defender, a thinker, and someone who acts when others hesitate." Rin felt a sense of pride mixed with humility. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will continue to serve and learn. I hope to honor your trust." Zara studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "Tomorrow, you will face new challenges. But today, you have proven that humans are capable of courage and wisdom beyond what we expected. Remember this lesson, Rin. Your actions can make a difference, even in worlds far from your own." Rin watched as Zara returned to her chambers. The palace, which had seemed overwhelming when he first arrived, now felt like a place where humans could truly contribute. He had faced danger, outsmarted a saboteur, and earned the queen's trust. He knew the path ahead would not be easy, but he felt ready. With courage, intelligence, and respect, humans could indeed be more than visitors. They could be partners, allies, and protectors in the galaxy. The morning sun rose over Scythera, painting the palace in shades of gold and purple. Rin stood in the central hall, his tools packed, his notebook ready. Today was different. Queen Zara had summoned the entire council, and the palace was filled with anticipation. Whispers of Rin's courage and skill had spread, and every alien in the chamber seemed to sense that something important was about to happen. Zara entered, her golden armor shining brilliantly. She walked to the center of the hall, her presence commanding absolute attention. "Today," she said, her voice echoing through the chamber, "we recognize those who have proven themselves worthy. This human, Rin, has done more than repair my sacred armor. He has defended it, shown courage, and acted with wisdom and respect. He stands before us as an example of what humans can achieve." Rin bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, I am honored. I have only tried to do my best and to serve." Zara nodded, her gaze steady. Humans are often underestimated on Scythera. They are rarely given the chance to show their true potential. But Rin has proven that courage, intelligence, and respect can bridge worlds. A murmur of approval ran through the council members. Some stood and nodded in acknowledgement. The very skeptical ones remained cautious, but even they could not deny Rin's accomplishments. One counselor stepped forward, his gemstone-decorated cloak flowing behind him. "Human, you have demonstrated skill beyond most aliens of Scythera. You have repaired what was sacred, protected it from harm, and done so without fear. You have earned respect, not through strength alone, but through wisdom and integrity." Rin felt a warmth in his chest. He had come to this world to study, but he had achieved something far greater. Humans were no longer just observers, they could be allies, contributors, and protectors. Zara smiled faintly. Rin, I offer you a permanent position as advisor and engineer in my palace. You will have access to knowledge, technology, and resources that few outsiders ever see. In return, you will continue to use your skills to protect and serve Zythera. Rin's heart leapt. I would be honored, Your Majesty. I promise to act with loyalty, respect, and diligence. The Queen raised her hand, signaling the council to observe. Let it be known across Zythera that humans, though different, can achieve greatness. Rin is proof that courage, intelligence, and respect are qualities that transcend worlds. From this day, he is recognized as an ally of Zythera, worthy of trust and honor. The chamber erupted in applause, though it was more measured than human clapping. Aliens bowed, some in admiration, others in reluctant acceptance. Rin looked around and saw nods of respect from guards, servants, and council members alike. His journey had transformed him from a cautious visitor into a respected figure in an alien world. Later, Rin was led to the armory, where the repaired armor rested. He touched the edge gently, now with permission, and smiled. You are strong, he whispered, and now even safer. Zara stood beside him, watching with a quiet approval that made Rin feel both proud and humble. You have done more than repair, Zara said softly. You have shown my people that humans can think, act, and protect when others hesitate. That is the true measure of greatness. Rin nodded. I only did what I could, Your Majesty. I hope to continue learning and helping your people whenever I am needed. Zara studied him for a long moment. Humans are often underestimated. Your courage and intelligence have proven that your kind can achieve what others cannot. This is the lesson I wish Zythera to remember. You have earned our trust and respect. As the twin sons of Zythera said, Rin walked through the palace gardens with Zara. The air was filled with the scent of alien flowers and the soft hum of energy fields powering the palace. Rin realized that he had not only repaired the armor but had built bridges between worlds. This place is incredible, Rin said. And your people, they are wise and strong. I hope humans can continue to learn and share with you. Zara smiled, a rare and gentle expression. Humans have qualities that we often overlook: courage, curiosity, and the willingness to act even in fear. Today, you have shown that those qualities matter. Zythera is stronger because of your presence, Rin. Rin felt a deep sense of purpose. He had come to study, but he had discovered much more. Humans could face fear, solve problems, and gain respect in worlds far beyond their own. Courage, respect, and intelligence were not just human traits, they were universal. As night fell, Rin gazed at the stars above Zythera. He knew that this was only the beginning. There would be more challenges, more opportunities, and more ways for humans to make a difference. But for now, he allowed himself a quiet moment of triumph. He had earned trust, built alliances, and shown that humans could shine even in the most alien of worlds. Queen Zara stood beside him, her presence strong yet comforting. Remember, Rin, greatness is not given. It is earned through action, respect, and wisdom. You have done that today, and Zythera will remember it for generations. Rin smiled, feeling the weight and honor of her words. I will not forget, Your Majesty. I will continue to serve with courage and respect. And in that moment, beneath the twin suns and alien skies, a human engineer became a trusted ally of a queen, proving that even the smallest of beings can achieve greatness when bravery, intelligence, and respect guide their actions.